He doesn't want to be in Salmon anymore. Doesn't want to own a property in Salmon anymore. So it looks like he just dropped the price. So he may be willing to negotiate a little bit. He may be able to drop a little bit. He says he doesn't want owner finance, but for the right amount of down payment, I think he would, just because he just wants to. He hasn't been there for 2 years. So he doesn't want to be in Idaho anymore.
Well, and let's talk about what we could do with that property.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you have 10 acres, you have a little bit of flat, you could pull an RV out there. And I just think about, okay, what is it that's going to attract someone there and make this a deal?
All right, welcome back. This is the Massive Passive Income Show. I'm Jason.
I'm Colter.
And I'm excited to be here.
I am too.
I say that every time, but I really am. I don't get to hang out with you every single day, so it's a time to hang out, catch up, and talk about business, talk about things.
Yeah, and I'm excited for this show. We're going to talk about, and we're actually going to make a few phone calls after looking at some different properties. So we've pulled up Craigslist, and the question that we've had recently is, well, are you finding deals on Craigslist? I'm like, well, if somebody's posting something for sale, there's a deal that can be created.
Yes, it may not be a good deal, but there's a deal there.
But there's, yeah.
And I've had quite a few people say, what do you say when you call? How do you start the conversation? So you're gonna hear it live. And then afterwards we'll talk about maybe what we could have said, what we didn't say, and because it's never gonna be perfect. The big thing is you just gotta do it. Don't wait till you get it perfect. Just get it going. Because you could sit all day long and prepare and then never make a phone call.
Exactly. Well, and that's what you have to do. You can fail to launch many times, but if you never pick up the phone, you're never going to be able to find a property that allows for you to make an offer.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to Craigslist here. We've got a couple of properties. We're trying to find properties that are for sale by owner.
Something we can buy.
Something that we can buy. So we're going to go through, it looks like we have 22 potential listings that we can call on.
Wow.
And so we'll dive into those. Why don't we just take...
And we have no idea what they're going to be, whether it be a fix and flip, whether they're going to be a buy and hold, whether they're even going to be a deal at all. But in order to find out, you got to make the phone call.
Yeah,
so
exactly. The opportunity of lifetime comes around but once a week. And I've been thinking about that, I've said it for years, but the opportunity of a lifetime doesn't come around just because it comes and slaps you in the face and says, hey, I'm a deal.
Take me down.
Take advantage. It's about deal creation, right? And we have to be educated in order to understand, one, is it worth digging into further? But then we have to go and create the deal. So why don't we dig into, how about this 21-acre hunting off-grid bug-out recreation?
Wow, that sounds fun.
Sounds kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So let's just get a little bit of detail so we can ask some good questions. Owner financing is available with $20,000 down, 10-year term, 5% APR, and $575 a month.
So right there, I'm already interested. Owner financing. Still may not be a deal, but owner financing is huge.
So when we're talking 21 acres near Salmon, Idaho, in the mountains. So I think that we can go and find out more and say,
and
hey,
probably yes, probably some questions asking what that financing looks like. I mean, it kind of spells it out there, but is there year-round access? Is there any kind of well? Is there any kind of, is there any kind of structure on the property? Is there any kind of water rights to the property? Is there a creek running through the property? These are all things you're going to want to ask. So, yeah.
What's the access? How far away from Salmon, Idaho is it?
Yes.
Is this thing up and down, several good-sized mountains?
Yep. Is it only by helicopter you can get to it?
Prime land, plus
is there an airstrip for Colter?
Yeah, plus a trail hike of about 2.5 miles. So do you have to hike into it every time?
Yeah, that's what we need to find out.
No, it actually looks like there's a hot springs that's 2.5 miles hike away from this. This little.
Or if it's close to Goldbug.
I wonder. I've got a place by Goldbug. It's awesome. We love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna call this guy.
Let's do it.
So let's see if we can get, and we only have an email. So there's no phone number to call.
Okay.
So again, we're going off the cuff here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna retract a little bit, but we can drop him an email and just say, hey, you know what?
We're interested. Give us a call.
We'll copy that. See see where his interest lies as to, because maybe you could do less money down, do it amortized over a longer period of time. Maybe this property could make sense or maybe not, but could be a cool opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that one. So let's go to the 9.77 acres near Salmon with McKim Creek access, Elk Bend, Idaho. So Elk Bend is actually where we have a place, near Gold Bug. And let's see here. A couple of the details. Property rises
Lehigh
steeply up a
County.
hill. Salmon's about 25 minutes north with a grocery store.
Mile from Salmon River, which is awesome. World-class fishing. Depends on who's fishing, whether it's world. Wow, that's the strip of land.
It's a long sliver of ground,
Yeah.
and it sounds like it's up a mountain. But when I've read this, it has kind of an open setting right in here where you could pull in an RV or have some camping. But so it has a little bit of access right there by the river. Well, let's call. Let's see if we can find a phone number here. We finally have a phone number. Let's see
Nice.
if we can get an answer.
Let's do it. Let's make the call.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. This is Colter Hansen. I'm calling in regards to your property near Salmon.
Okay, sure.
I can read the description here and, get a little bit from it, but can you tell me a little bit about it, why you're selling?
Sure. I owned several properties in there years ago, and this one I had sold on a contract, and the guy didn't pay for years, and so I eventually foreclosed, got this particular property back, and it's for sale. I haven't been up there. We used to live in Coeur d'Alene. We live in Arizona now, and I haven't been to the property for a couple years. So as far as I know, it's about the same as it was back when I had seen it. It's there's a nice level area down there in the bottom on the south side of Burden Road, and then the creek is on the north side. Full grow of aspen trees, and it probably goes in about 150 or 200 feet from the road. It's fairly level, and then it rises fairly steeply up to the top of this hill, and that's the long, narrow portion of the property going uphill.
Okay.
So,
Very
yep.
Interesting.
A mile from Salmon River. Yeah, right in.
How a mile from the Salmon River?
Yep.
Okay. And by the way,
You drive in there.
I've got a friend and business partner here that we're visiting about this property on. So we both have some questions on the property, and so.
Hi, this is Jason. How are you?
Hello, good. I'm Larry.
Good. Hey, so is there year-round access to that property?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You should be able to easily drive in there year round.
Okay.
There's several cabins, and I think there's 2 or 3 people appear to live in there full time, at least a couple of years ago. And there's probably 100 cabins sort of along the creek on different parcels in there.
Okay. Is there any kind of structure on this parcel at all? Any like even
No.
shed or anything?
Nothing that I know of, at least. Yeah.
Any kind of well?
No.
Okay.
No. So the deal with the water access is there's a little thin lot. I don't know exactly how wide, maybe 20, 25 feet wide, that is owned fractionally.
Oh, okay.
Several other parcels, so you have access to the creek for water.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah. So then that little parcel crosses the actual creek.
Is there any power to the property or power to the other cabins?
No, I don't think so. At least when I was there, everybody appeared to be off the grid. I think
Okay.
the power's out on 93 by the river. I
Okay.
think that's the closest. Yep.
Okay. All right. It just gives us a good idea on what kind of structure we'd have to build and what we're anticipating. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but feel free to check it out, and just be able to drive right in there, and I got those directions. You can find it fairly easily.
Is there any public access, like any BLM land or anything you can ride 4-wheelers on or side by sides close by?
Yeah, I think it's Forest Service actually.
Forest Service, okay.
And I think this would border. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it borders Forest Service on the south side of this property, south line.
Okay.
Yeah, but there, if you keep driving up McKim Creek Road, past Burden Lane, when you're just going up the main road from 93, if you follow that another mile or so, you'll cross into Forest Service.
And you say it's about a mile from Salmon?
Oh, no, from the river. Not
Oh, from the river. Oh, how far away from Salmon?
25-minute drive into Salmon.
Oh, okay. Okay. It says that there. Okay. I see that. Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. And then you said you had sold it on a contract before. Are you looking to do something similar? Are you trying to cash out entirely?
I'm just looking for cash. It kind of depends how much somebody could put down, but I've got another project I'm wanting to put the money into.
Okay.
Okay. And is this the only property that you own in the area?
A couple of times, so I think it's a pretty good deal. But check it out and see what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say you've dropped the price a couple of times?
I just did, yeah.
Just did.
Do you have any other properties in the area?
Nope.
That's your last one?
That's my last one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get into this one? I'm curious.
I bought this back along with several other parcels back like 4 or 5 years ago. I'm a land investor. I do some down here in Arizona as well.
Oh, okay.
But that's my last piece up there in Idaho at this point.
Okay. Well, do you have any in Arizona that you're selling?
Oh, yeah, we have a few. We've got a little development in Maricopa County out by Morristown. It's got 4 2-acre parcels. Each of them has water. Shared well. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that's what we're selling right at the moment.
In Maricopa, so I'm just trying to get my bearings straight. I actually drive down often down to Puerto Penasco, Mexico, if you know where that's at.
Yeah, yeah.
So we come from Idaho down through, what is that? Anyways, I'm looking for a property that could be kind of the midway point or the final, like a stopping point for us to rest before we cross the border, like the next day, because it's typically a 2-day trip.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just not sure.
This is not more remote kind of property. It's about a mile from the pavement.
Okay.
And like I said, there's 4 different 2-acre lots. It's west of Phoenix, west of the city of Phoenix, about 20 miles.
Very good. Well,
Awesome.
man, if you have a link to that, if you wouldn't mind texting that over, I would sure appreciate it.
Yeah, I can
and then
go, I can give you a link here, one way or another.
okay.
On the field at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, very good. Tell me your name.
Larry Treffs, Trefz.
Larry Treffs. Well, thanks for your time, Larry. Appreciate it, and we'll keep diving into your place up here near Salmon, and then I'd love the link to your place down there in Morristown.
Sounds good.
All right, sir. Have
Thank
a
you.
good day.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that's some of the things that, questions I asked, questions that he asked. Hey, do you have any other properties? Hey, where are they at? I mean, you may not be interested, but you may be interested. I think the biggest thing is just get him talking and see where he's at, see how he acquired it. Maybe sometimes they'll tell you what their pain is. Like he doesn't want to be in Salmon anymore. Doesn't want to own a property in Salmon anymore. Mm-hmm. So it looks like he just dropped the price. So he may be willing to negotiate a little bit. He may be able to drop a little bit. He says he doesn't want owner finance, but for the right amount of down payment, I think he would, just because he just wants to. He hasn't been there for 2 years. So he doesn't want to be in Idaho anymore.
Well, and let's talk about what we could do with that property.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you have 10 acres, you have a little bit of flat, you could pull an RV out there. And I just think about, okay, what is it that's going to attract someone there and make this a deal, right? So there's different buyers in different situations. Some of which, like for me, I've owned RVs and I've rented RVs.
Yeah.
So for me, say, hey, you know what? I've thought about selling my RVs. Could I go and park one there, set it up with like a solar trailer, and so you now have solar power, and then is there a way of being able to set up access to the water and then do a filtration system. So I have power and I have water. And then what can I do with the sewer? Well, I can call a sewer company and they can come out once a week and they can pump it. And then,
Or I forgot to ask, I wanted to ask, are you able to put a septic system on that lot? A lot of times you can't because it's close to the river, but a lot of times you can. And I didn't ask him that. He probably would have known the answer to that too.
yeah, you probably would.
Yeah, and I didn't even, I asked about the water, asked about some stuff, but that was something I totally didn't ask about. But
Yeah. But you could set this property up, and so you buy it for $38,000. Maybe you get it on a note, and then what you could do is you could park an RV there,
Or
and then,
two.
and you could say,
And a
"Hey,
bully
you know what?
barn."
We've got a property, and either it's income producing, or it could just be, hey, you know what? This is going to be the family reunion spot.
yeah,
And we'll sell or carry it for $150,000. You wrap around the RV, the property itself, and now you've created something that's doubled the value of what you've actually allocated into the property. Now you're collecting interest on all of that, maybe plus a down payment, and you've just created a deal.
yeah, especially if you could throw like a little shop, a little garage, a little bully barn, like you said, tap into the water, figure out what the sewer system is, figure out if there is power, if there's not, maybe put some solar panels. Like you said, throw a couple RVs on there. I mean, literally, you've probably quadrupled the price of that property. If you had a couple RVs that had access to power, access to water, access to some kind of sewer, put a propane tank out there so you can burn propane, have it all set up, you might be able to turn around and sell the thing for 150 grand.
Yeah.
People right now, to find a place that they could live for the summer, all year round, have family reunions at, rent out, Airbnb it. I mean, it's 20 miles from Salmon. That's a little far for an Airbnb, but man, sometimes people just want to get away. You know,
Yeah.
There might be some people in Salmon that want to get away from Salmon.
Right. Well, and you've solved all the things that 90% of the population don't want to have to deal with.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to deal with the septic and the water and the pulling it in and figuring out electrical, and they don't want to have to solve the solar panels and am I going to have enough power?
Yeah.
Or do I do a battery bank? If you solve each of those things, maybe you spend 40 total hours on trying to solve that problem. Now you've solved those problems in 40 hours. If you've doubled the value, you take $80,000 worth of investment, turn it into 150 or more, you've almost doubled your money, and you can start to collect on that.
And that right there is why we say the deal of a lifetime comes around but once a week. We created, not saying I'm going to execute, or maybe Colter probably won't either, but maybe we will. But we found something on Craigslist, talked to a guy, and we've just come up with a couple options that you could probably double your money. So that could be, if you got a trailer, you're up for the task, you're up for making something happen, that could be your deal of the week, deal of a lifetime this week. But we had to make a phone call and we had to create it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
There you go. We got a hold of a seller. We have been able to talk through a property, and we've created the opportunity in that potential deal.
And he may have something down in Arizona. And did you hear him? He said he would sell the 8 acres. Is it 8, he said?
8.8 acres.
8.8 acres for 330?
390.
390. But then he says, if we don't sell it, we're going to sell off individual lots. So right there, I know it's already able to be split up into lots.
Yeah.
So that might be a potential of a development for somebody. Buy for 390, maybe each lot. You may have to do some research, figure out what each acre lot is, how many lots are actually there. But he just said, from listening to it, most people hadn't picked up on that. Hey, I'm just going to divide it up if I can't sell it all in one spot. Mm-hmm. So that could be a potential of making money also.
Yeah.
Cool. Good exercise.
There you go.
Yeah. And I didn't even break a sweat. Thanks for tuning in.